Happy Riḍván.
Happy Riḍván. This is Aliska. This is Adwa.
Yes, this is Aliska. My name is Adwa. This is
This is
Zora.
Hago.
My name is Hygo.
And we are the Ulzen-Setrakian family from Indianapolis,
Because
Indiana.
you're new high playing games.
And we would like to share a tablet that your daddy is going to
and we
read,
can
right?
play games
And we're
today.
going to sit nice and quietly with our eyes closed while your dad reads.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is the most holy, the most glorious. All praise be to thee, O Lord my God. This is one of the days of thy Riḍván festival, whereon a servant of thine hath extended an invitation to the manifestation of thine essence, and the revealer of thy sovereignty, and hath decked forth a place in the prison to receive thine all-glorious beauty. O thou who art the Lord of earth and heaven, all glory be to this hour, wherein he who is the dayspring of thy transcendent might hath directed his steps from one room of the prison to another. I beseech thee, O thou who art the King of names and creator of earth and heaven, to write down for such of thy loved ones as have been debarred from entering the precincts of thy mercy and standing before the throne of thy might, the recompense decreed for such as have attained thy presence and beheld him who is thy beauty. Thou hearest, O Lord, their sighs and lamentations in their separation and remoteness from thee. I beseech thee to ordain for them all the good thou dost possess. Potent art thou to do as thou willest. No God is there but thee, the Almighty, the All-Praised.
Have a happy Riḍván.
Happy Riḍván.
Aloha, friends. This is Alexander from the Riḍván is Everywhere production team, and I wanted to wish you all a happy Riḍván. We are here on day 3, and day 3's theme is the tent and the tabernacle. So I wanted to say a few things, just some thoughts, some things we were thinking about when we thought of this theme. You know, there's not a lot known about the particulars of the events in the Garden of Riḍván, but some Baha'is, some friends, some historians have started to try to weave together the different accounts and things to see what they can deduce, what they can ascertain. And one Baha'i, David Merrick, tells it like this little part. He was saying that, quote, "There was much wind for some days, and Bahá'u'llah's tent was swaying about. The friends took it in turns throughout the night and day to sit and keep the tent rope steady in case it might be blown down, their whole happiness in so doing being to be so nearby Bahá'u'lláh." Now, this image of Bahá'u'llah's tent in the Garden of Riḍván, where the Blessed Beauty took up his temporary residence for the duration of the festival days, is worthy of some exploration. I mean, even practically, based on the few accounts that we do have, with people from all over the city of Baghdad streaming in day after day to visit Bahá'u'lláh, it's probably worth asking, how big was this tent, What did it really look like? And one example of one of Bahá'u'llah's tents, or a tent of the Holy Family, was shared on display during his bicentenary in 2017. The Baha'i World Center posted it on their bicentenary website, bicentenary.baha'i.org. You could check it out if you'd like. But furthermore, what about this tent as a symbol? Throughout his tablets revealed for Riḍván, especially in Days of Remembrance, Baha'u'lláh uses this metaphor of the tabernacle to refer to a place of sanctuary or nearness to God. And historically, in the Hebrew scriptures, the tabernacle referred to a movable, tent-like structure which housed the Ark of the Covenant for the Israelites during their exodus until the building of the temple in Jerusalem. And they say that the structure of that tabernacle, of that tent, went on to influence the blueprints and architectures of temples and synagogues in the Jewish Revelation. And furthermore, that structure went on to then inspire the design of churches in the time of Jesus Christ. In the New Testament, actually, in the Epistle to the Hebrews, Jesus Christ himself is characterized as that same tabernacle, carrying forward the covenant of God still onward and onward. And we can even see that same image in Islam with the Kaaba in Mecca being that house of God to which all the believers direct their prayers every single day. And now here we are in the Garden of Riḍván in 1863, in the Tabernacle of Bahá'u'lláh, where the covenant of God still continues onward yet again. Now, in a tablet Baha'u'lláh later revealed while imprisoned in Akka, Baha'u'lláh spoke of this new tabernacle, of this new tent, pitched in the apex of the world. He said, "Say, O well-beloved ones, the tabernacle of unity hath been raised. Regard ye not one another as strangers. Ye are the fruits of one tree and the leaves of one branch. Verily I say, whatsoever leadeth to the decline of ignorance and the increase of knowledge hath been and will ever remain approved in the sight of the Lord of creation. Say, O people, walk ye neath the shadow of justice and truthfulness, and seek ye shelter within the tabernacle of unity." That same year, in 1863, here in the United States, the American Civil War was raging on, and so many were growing weary of the fighting, of brothers killing their own brothers, and they really longed for peace in their country. A young man by the name of Walter Kittredge wrote a song that year that became one of the most popular songs during the war at that time, and it was called "Tenting on the Old Campground." Some people know it as "Tenting Tonight." And I like to think that with the Babis in Baghdad and elsewhere still facing persecution and exile at that time, with the battles and hardships of those early days of the faith still fresh in their minds, perhaps they would have felt the words of that song in their hearts too, just as the friends here on this continent sang again and again and again. And I'd like to sing a verse of that song for you guys today. It goes like this. Oh, I forgot the lyrics. We're tenting tonight on the old campground. Give us a song of cheer. Our weary hearts a song of home, and friends we love so dear. Many are the hearts that are weary tonight, wishing for the war to cease. Many are the hearts looking for the right to see the dawn of peace. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. Tenting tonight, tenting tonight, tenting on the old campground. Happy Riḍván, friends.
Hi everyone! Yasi made us a tent. Would you like to learn how to make one too? Our friend Chloe Rouhani is a fantastic tent maker. She'll teach you how. Just keep watching.
Hi everyone, my name is Chloe and I'm going to be helping you guys celebrate Riḍván today by creating this really cool Riḍván tent. And it's very simple. It uses a table, so it should be pretty simple and easy for you guys to recreate with kids of any age. So happy Riḍván, let's get started. So I've got all my materials here and I wanted to just orient you guys to what you'll need. So first things first, you'll want to have a white sheet to put over the table. The other thing that I was looking at while I was researching the tent that Bahá'u'lláh was in the Holy Land was that on the inside there was this really cool printed fabric of like roses and different things, and so I thought it would be a unique idea to try and find something similar to that to put on the inside. So I have one of these really nice printed tablecloths from Iran, and I'm going to use that on the inside, but you can use whatever printed fabric. If you've got cool little fabric that your kids love, you can use that. If you don't have any extra fabric, you can just use the white sheet, but I'm going to set that aside for now. You'll also want a nice comfy blanket or something, especially if it's on hardwood floor. You want something comfy to put under there. Some pillows always make it nice. And then I have little decorations. So I have these little cute little paper decorations. We'll learn how to make those. And I have some little fairy lights. And then I also created this little kit you could just carry into the tent. So I've got some little paper roses. We'll also learn how to make a little fake candle that I just put on there. I have a little rose scented pack to add to the rose feel inside the tent, and some prayer books. You could put snacks, you could put any sort of thing in there that your kids would like to have inside the tent. So you can just assemble something like this and put it inside the tent for them. But I'll set that aside for now too. So let's get started on assembling the inside of the tent before we put everything on top. So my table has this bar underneath, and I've gone ahead and just wound the lights through this bar. If your table doesn't have that, you just have the 4 legs, you can take your lights and string them around like this, and you might want to secure them with a piece of tape or something like that. But that gives you these nice little draping lights, which are kind of nice. If you don't want to do that, you might be able to tape it to the bottom of the table. If you want to just tape it up like this across the table, you could do that as well. But there are many different ideas. The string lights are not necessary, but they do add a nice glow inside of the tent, and it enables you to feel nice and cozy and enjoy it. Gives it a nice ambiance. So something to consider if you have some in your house. If not, it's not a problem. I have these little clips, tiny cute ones, that I'm going to use to hang this little paper decoration in here. I found that if you use these to just clip through one of the wires, it'll hold paper as and the cable at the same time. So then I can clip this to that. I have the same over here, and that can hold our little clip. You can also use tape, whatever is easiest for you. And you can make multiple decorations, different kinds, and just deck out your tent. All right, so now we're gonna do the inside. So I have carpet, so it's already kind of soft, but it is nice to have something cozy in there. If you do have hardwood, it's important to put something down that's nice and soft so you can get comfy under the tent. I also have my table pushed up against this railing here, which gives me a little bit of a nice backside to like sit up against. So it's something else to consider when placing your table, is to maybe put it against a wall or something like that. Let's just lay these inside and fill it with pillows. And it's way easier to do it this way than to make the outside of the tent and then try and fill it. So something I've learned in trying to do this is to make it all cozy inside and then make the tent on the outside. So let's go ahead and do that. So I've decorated the inside, made it all cozy. Now we're gonna put the tent together on the outside. So I was telling you I have this nice printed tablecloth from Iran, and it's printed just on the one side. So since we want to have this print showing on the inside, I'm going to put this tablecloth upside down on the table. And you want to make sure that you're doing it with the long side draping over the wider sides of the table. And if you have a nice patterned fabric or something that you like and you want to be able to see a little from the outside, you can also fold a little bit like this. And I'll show you a trick to do a nice little doorway at the front. But I'm going to leave that like that for now. We'll go ahead and put the sheet on top. So I've got this little fold here, and then the sheet is gonna go the same way with the long side, if I can find it, with the long side on the wide ends of the table. All right, I'm gonna tuck this back so it looks nice on the top. So we'll even it out. All right, and now we can do our little door at the front. So if you want to come around and see how I do that. I'm going to use this little clip that I took off an orchid, but if you have another little clip, you could use a pin or something if you wanted to, a safety pin or something like that. I'm going to roll this up, and then because I've already folded this fabric here, it shows through really nicely. And then I'm going to clip it, making sure I clip some from the top of the table so that this stays up. So you want to clip some from the tabletop like that. And now this is slipped a little, so I'm going to fix it, straighten it up there. And now you have this nice little entryway to your tent. So you can get your little bowl here with all your goodies, with your prayer books, snacks, anything, and set that inside for the kids. I have my little rose scented pack, so it'll make the tent smell nice as it gets warm in there. And yeah, now you and your family can enjoy Riḍván in your own little Riḍván tent. So I want to wish you guys all a very, very happy Riḍván, and I am very excited for this holiday season. It makes me so happy to celebrate this holy day and to be celebrating Bahá'u'llah's great announcement that he was the promised one. So here we are. We get to celebrate all of that in our homes with our cool little crafts. So happy Riḍván, everyone. Enjoy.
Hallo, hier ist Anna. Happy Riḍván.
Happy Riḍván! Joyeux Riḍván! Alles Gute zum Riḍvánfest! Hello, my name is Iman and I am from Austria. I wish you all happy Riḍván.
Wow, Kira, Anna, Iman, such beautiful artwork. Thank you. I loved looking at it. I loved it. Don't forget to send us more artwork using the links below. I want to see all of it. Happy Riḍván!
Hi, my name is Valentina, and I'm joining you all from Morgantown, West Virginia. I want to share a piece with you today. It's the words of Bahá'u'lláh set to music, and I feel it really it really connects with the festival of Riḍván, which is so special. It signifies when Bahá'u'lláh declared that he's the manifestation of God for today. And this quotation, I think, really is speaking to an urgency for us to renew our souls, to be able to accept the favors, the bountiful favors of this new revelation. So I hope you enjoy it. Oh, friends, oh, friends, oh, friends, it behooveth you to refresh and revive the gracious favors. It behooveth you to refresh and revive your souls through the gracious favors. Oh, friends, oh, friends, oh, friends, oh, friends. It behooveth you to refresh and revive your souls through the gracious favors, which in this divine, this soul stirring springtime, which in this divine, this soul stirring springtime, the gracious favors are being showered upon you, upon you, Oh, friends, oh, friends, oh, friends, oh, friends. It behooveth you to refresh and revive your souls through the gracious favors, which in this divine, this soul stirring springtime, which in this divine, this soul stirring springtime, the gracious favors are being showered upon you, upon you, upon you. Happy Riḍván.
Hi, my name is Rieves Bowers, and I'll be performing an original song called Come In. This song it has a lot of meanings, and I think, especially in this time of hardship, it's important to remember that even in isolation, we are not alone, and I think this song illustrates that point very well, and I hope you enjoy. This is Come In. Come into the sunshine, hold on to my voice. Your emptiness is mine, so I don't even have a choice. You could sulk in sadness in a cold winter breeze, or you could come into the light with me. No matter what demons have taken your soul, just know that I'm down for the ride. I know it's no fun when you're losing control, but I know that you're still there inside. So come into the sunshine. Think how it could be if you come into the light with me. Come into the sunshine, hold on to my voice. Your emptiness is mine, so I don't even have a choice. You could sulk in sadness in a cold winter breeze, or you could come into the light with me. My love is eternal, so never forget that you can always count on me. Climb out of the sea of regrets, 'cause your beauty is so plain to see. So I'm begging you, please, just come into the light with me. Come into the sunshine, step into the light. Just come into the sunshine, come into the light. So just come into the sunshine. Think how it could be if you come into the light with me. Happy Riḍván.
Alright, this is my belt sander, disc sander combo machine. Just kind of getting started. This is how I'm going to cut or bring the 12 segments down to the size I need them to be. I would have done it with a bandsaw, but I don't have one. Probably it's the safest way to cut the wood, and since they're really small, it's just easier to sand it down. So what I'm doing here, I'm using my square to try and square up the guide. I was initially thinking I could rest the pieces of wood against that metal, that steel plate there. If it's square, that will help me keep my pieces square. And so here I'm kind of getting out my wrenches and tightening it up and getting it as square as possible. Turns out to be a waste of time because the gap at the bottom of that plate is bigger than the final size of the pieces of wood, and so I ended up not being able to use it anyway. But it was good practice. It's always important to have things squared up and checked out as you go along. Just means that the next project I use that for, that I need something to be square, the tool rest or the plate there will be will already be square, and I can save that time in a later project. Just a minute adjustments, being really careful. This whole process, the sanding process with these 12 different segments, was much longer than it would be in any other, full-length piece of wood pen. This took probably, I think it was about 90 minutes of sanding just to get these 12 segments to the size they needed. And of course, each type of wood has a different density and hardness to it. So it means that different pieces of wood sand at different rates. So the majority of that 90 minutes of sanding these pieces was, I think, 3 or maybe 4 different pieces of wood, and the others just were like zip done, whereas some of them it was like really just sitting there waiting for the sandpaper to take it down. But I was afraid to change and get a heavier grit, or to go push down really hard, because I didn't want to take off too much. I'm always nervous about taking off too much and being really careful. You also see through the sped up video, there's a lot of checking of the thickness as well as the squareness of it. Using that square allowed me to continually fine tune how flat the bottom was, and making sure that it wasn't angled in any one direction too much. Again, trying to maintain that kind of as smooth side as possible so I can glue it all together later on. This was a very long, tedious process, but also not very mind consuming. So I was able to sit and, think a lot and just kind of process through. It's nice to have something kind of menial like this to relieve some of the pressure in these trying times. It was very meditative, so it was really cool and helpful. Although that floor could have been a little more comfortable. That cement was not good for my back. So yeah, this is the process. It just goes on and on and on. Like I said, it was about an hour and a half of sanding for just this section alone. So that's it. Stay tuned to Riḍván Everywhere for the next step. Come back tomorrow.
Wait, friends.